the Ring Fanatics Podcast, episode number 16. Nick, your host. With me as always, my boy Joel, my co-host. First episode of 2021. Excited for that. Brand new year, brand new opportunities for us. Before I even get into the full episode, I want to knock some things out of the way. First, I want to thank Ivan and the Circle of the Big Crew for allowing us to be on that episode. If you haven't seen the last video, go check it out. It was an episode that Joel and I and a couple other wrestling podcasters did for the Circle of the Big podcast. They allowed us to put that episode on our channel and our platforms. So yeah, if you want to go check it out, go check out the podcast, the latest episode. Check it out on their channel. Go check out their link up to that episode, and their channel will be in the description of the last YouTube video. That was a long sentence, but go check out their channel. It's awesome, great content out there. So go check that out. We have to thank Anthony Cerulli for allowing us to be on the Titantron podcast. If it's not out already, I don't know what time today it's being released, but it should be released the same day as this episode that you listen to right now. If it's not, then whatever. Thanks for allowing us to be on your podcast and doing that show. We had a great time for that too. And go check out that episode as well. We did a recap of basically his own award show that he's doing for the year 2020. So check that out. And last, Happy New Year's to everyone. Happy holidays, because this is the new year already as this episode's out. So yeah, and last, of course, but not least, like as always, subscribe to us, follow us on Instagram, all of our platforms that we are on, and go support us in any way. So yeah, since I got all that out of the way now.
What an intro.
Yeah, what an intro. Yeah, what an intro. Jesus, that is a whole long intro. But yeah, this episode I just wanted to, instead of doing a 2020 year in review, I want to do a 2021 preview of what we expect from this new year in wrestling. What we hope to happen within each company. Not each company, but just the four main companies that we're talking about. Impact, we're talking about AEW, NXT. I guess you could say it's still WWE, but NXT and Raw and SmackDown. What we hope expect for those brands, those companies. So yeah, to start it off, I'm going to start off with Impact first, just to get that one. I know around already, like at this point when this episode is being released, pretty much I think every single company. I don't know about AEW. They haven't announced anything about AEW awards, so I don't know if AEW is doing that. But I know Impact have already done some awards. WWE did their award show already, and so we already know who is what for each brand. And like I said before, we did a year review awards for Anthony's Titantron podcast. So for Impact Wrestling, since we already pretty much summed up the 2020 year for that company, what do you expect, Joel, if you want to start off with? What do you expect to happen, or what you want to see in that sense for Impact Wrestling?
What I would like to see is for them to keep growing. I like the way they're going in the direction they're going in right now with working with AEW. I hope they get to work with different companies as well as in New Japan when everything starts to ease up and everything starts to open again. I would like to see them partner up. Like, I think that's a cool thing that's been happening right now that we see in AEW and Impact working together. It's like, this is actually able to happen. Like, before this wasn't able to happen. Like, a few weeks ago, Tony Khan went on TNA and was like, oh, let's I'm inviting all the TNA guys, if you want to come onto AEW, come through. So like I like how they're doing that. I hope it continues. I also hope they expand it and work with more companies, because I feel like there's a lot of people in Impact right now. Everybody calls them the rejects of WWE, but I like what they're doing. And one guy that I've always been high up on, Brian Myers, always been high up on him. They look like they're building him up, and I like that. I like that. They're making him a legit wrestler. Like, like when he was in WWE, he did the Edge Heads thing, and then he did his own thing. And when he came back, he did the storyline that he couldn't win a match. He went like 0-89. It was a ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like over 100 days.
It was 100 and something, because then they finally won at Mania and then lost the belts right away. Like, it was just, they never took him seriously, and I like that Impact is trying their best to Yeah, make him legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like they're gonna do that with a lot of guys in Impact. They have a good roster. Like everybody downplays the Impact roster just because it's Impact, just because it has that name on it.
Yeah.
But people also forget there was a time that Impact
It was amazing. It was great.
Yeah, there was a time where I stopped watching WWE. I think it was like, of course, it was years ago. Like after the whole Benoit incident, WWE to me just like went downhill. It was already going downhill after Eddie passed, in my opinion. Just because of what I grew up watching. So I was like I was still watching. I'm not gonna say I completely shut it down, but TNA was where it was at. Like I was on Spike TV every week. I was watching it. I was keeping up with it. Man. I'd rather watch that than Raw, SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like, not to take away from anybody that was on WWE during those years. Like Batista was having a good run. Shawn Michaels was still doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that I stopped watching completely, but it was like now I've been picking up again, but like
recently I've been too. I've been watching it.
Yeah, but also it's because of the podcast. Like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
but it was those times that I was like I didn't have to watch Raw. I didn't have to watch SmackDown. I had to watch Impact though. I had to. So I feel like the roster that they have now could get them back to that spot that they're actually a competitor with WWE.
But with them, I don't like with them. They have a lot of superstars on that roster where it's like, okay, they could grow and be the face of the company. You know, it's like there's so many people that they developed within this past year alone where it's like, okay, now 2021 could be the year where they all break out even more. And
definitely
they could be like main event people. I wouldn't say necessarily the same exact momentum that it was a couple years ago with like
it'll never be at that height again.
Yeah.
Also, that height, I think it hurt them because they were trying to be an alternative. They were doing what AEW is doing now. They were an alternative wrestling company, and then they just picked up so much momentum that people started like. I think it was more the journalists saying, "Oh, they're having better shows," and that they were like, "You know what? We can actually compete with Raw." And then they did the change to Mondays, which wasn't bad. I don't think it was a bad call on that.
They went back to Thursdays at one point, right? Like, I guess,
because they were like, nah, this ain't for us. And also, I feel like having two shows on one day is just that's just a mistake. Like they went to try and battle, and I respect them for it because they tried it out, and then they were like, you know what, nah, this ain't gonna work. Let's go back to Thursdays or Wednesdays, whenever they went back to, and they kept doing their thing. Like it wasn't like, but everybody looks at that as a mistake. And it's like, no, it wasn't a mistake. It was just a bad call. You know what I mean? Like we made a bad decision, went back. The storylines weren't terrible though. There was some, but terrible. That's like you could say the same thing about WWE now. You know what I mean? Like every company is gonna have bad storylines. Remember Rusev and Bobby Lashley?
Oh no.
And then like every company has bad storylines. AEW's had a couple. You know what I mean? Like they had everybody's. Not every idea is gonna be wow. This is a highlight. Even if you go back, like I did this a while ago. Like when the network first came out, I was like, oh wow, all the Attitude Era Raw and SmackDowns are on there. Those shows were not 100%. Like we forgot that Mae Young gave birth to a child, right? Like we forget about
Didn't
that.
she give birth to Hornswoggle once too?
Yeah, we forget about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like not everything's gonna stick. Most of the time, writers are just like, yo, you know what? Just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what works. Like you remember
doing it just to get out of the way. Just do it.
Yeah, like you remember when oh my god, I'm forgetting Liv Morgan. How can I forget her name? She came back with kind of like that lesbian angle, like this time last year.
Yeah.
That shit got dropped because it was like, oh, it's not working.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. They're just like, oh, there was a time that like, wasn't there like a storyline with Melina, like in 08, 09 that they just like, wasn't it that she was like sleeping with Batista or something? And then
that was 07. I think
that was 07? Yeah, it was like 07, 08. And then they just dropped it after a couple weeks because they were like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. So like not everything's gonna be 100%. But I feel like TNA with the Impact with the lineup they have now could do a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of like good things in 2021.
yeah. Yeah, like, that was my main like number one thing that I was expecting for Impact. They had these all one person in particular that I really want to see. And the thing is cool about this now is that the X division. I was gonna say that, but the X division is, I think, really really great right now. A lot of those guys have potential, um, to be even go for the TN the Impact World Championship. Um, One person in particular I want to see win it, and he had a chance already. It was Chris Bay.
Yes.
Because he can go for the Impact. He already did, but even though in my opinion he should have won it, um, yeah, I'm hoping he will in 2021. He's the type of guy who can break out in 2021, whether it's Impact, or he leaves, or he goes somewhere else. He could definitely be that top guy in any other company. Um, and I'm expecting him to at least get another shot to win the championship. I'm hoping for a like more. This is what I'm saying for WWE as well, but I can get to that later on when we mention that. Is for
Yeah.
more because now in January they're bringing back the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. And I want to see more Knockouts tag teams because what they're doing, I know it's kind of like they just do it in there, and so now that they're bringing it back, they don't have a lot of women. They have great talent, but not a lot to build up a tag team division
Yeah.
and a singles division. So I'm hoping that they can at least sign people, or at least create more tag teams, so that um, hopefully they can have a Knockouts tag division. One thing I also want to see happen, we can also tie this into AEW because since they're doing that AEW Impact storyline at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, what what's their name? I keep butchering the names.
Cool.
The Evilise and Diamante, is that the names?
Yes. Yeah.
They should go over the Impact because the thing is, I didn't know this. They're not technically signed to AEW. They're just appearing on AEW. They're not actually signed. So they still can go and wrestle at Impact if they wanted to.
Okay.
They should
Oh, I
go.
didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't realize the last night because I looked on the roster. They're not on the roster.
Oh wow.
So they're just appearing on AEW.
And Diamante is nice. So is
Yeah,
Evilise. But when she was in Impact, Diamante was doing her thing 'cause she was
yeah,
with LAX.
yeah. So I'm hoping they can at least go for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. They could be heavily involved in that storyline with Impact versus AEW, where they go over whoever wins the Knockouts Championship can be like, oh, we want those next, and then they bring it over to AEW and could go to both shows with
Yeah.
the Knockouts Championships,
Definitely.
like what
That
Omega
would
is
be
doing right
dope.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for that story. I want if that doesn't happen within the first like 2 months, I'm gonna be tight. I really want to see that because the thing is like I said, we don't know who's gonna win it. The beside I think Hard to Kill is the day they're going for the finals. But I'm hoping for at least that tag match for whoever wins it, so that we could see an AEW and Impact Knockouts division tag division because they also have for AEW they have Anna Jay and Tay Conti from Dark Order. That could be a tag team.
Yeah.
Um, so they literally have they can combine both the Impact and AEW Women's divisions and go for Knockouts tag titles or some shit like that. I don't
And
know.
also, you still got the NWA women still appearing.
That is
Like
true. That is true.
that's
That is
still a thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So tying them all in together,
That could help AEW's Women's division too.
definitely,
I mean,
definitely.
yeah. So we could also now talk about AEW since we're on that topic. That
Let's
the
do it.
woman their women's division is one thing I want to see them grow in 2021.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to sign Thunder Rosa at least.
She's
At the
nice.
least, they should
She's
exactly
nice.
exactly. I'm expecting them to sign a whole bunch of big names in the women's free agent signing. One other thing I want to see happen, and that should have happened in my opinion in 2020. Britt Baker winning the women's championship.
Oh, definitely.
That should have happened.
Definitely.
That should have happened. That should
I
have happened.
I feel like she was on the way
Yeah.
to get it, and then she got injured,
Yeah.
and now they've just been keeping her just because she's
Building
been doing
momentum.
tag. Yeah, she's been doing tag matches, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But right now she's feuding with Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
So that's the better part for her right now is I think going after Thunder Rosa and then eventually going for the women's championship.
Maybe this is the step up.
Yeah. Because I think it is have a feud with Thunder Rosa, beat Thunder Rosa, then maybe Thunder Rosa leaves for a little bit, then have Britt Baker go for the championship, and maybe have Thunder Rosa beat her for the championship, kind of
Yeah.
thing, so to speak. But that's one of the things I'm expecting for AEW in 2021. Um, Another thing is signing less tag teams and creating tag teams. Because with them, they love. Like, no, I'm not saying I'm not trying to shit on the
Yeah.
tag team division, but
No,
it's
I
like
feel you. I
they
feel you.
it's almost every week they're coming up with a new tag team. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you just made one like 2 weeks ago. Like, why are you making more tag teams?
They have so many tag teams. I think they don't know what to do with them
Yeah,
because it's like I think it was that they looked at like WWE and they were like they're not really using their tag division the way they should, and they were like, you know what?
let's make
Let's
ours.
put tag teams on display. And now they've just dug themselves into a hole that they just signed a whole bunch of tag teams and like not a lot of people are getting used.
Exactly, and a lot of them are being done dark, AEW dark, and it's like,
Yeah.
what are y'all doing?
And it's like it would be cool if Dark was on TV. Like
Yeah,
if they had a deal on TV like Tuesday nights or even like a Saturday show, like how WCW used to have the Saturday at 6 o'clock show. Just another show to give people a spotlight because Dark is another show that they give people spotlight, but it's a lot of just squash matches and it's on YouTube. Like not everybody's
yeah,
gonna log onto YouTube a Tuesday night to watch Dark. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think if they got another show, even if it was like not to compete with nobody, but just to give their superstars more shine.
yeah. One thing that I noticed that was on an episode of Being the Elite, I don't know if it was an actual thing or it was just a joke, but they teased of making another tag team titles for AEW.
I've thought of that, and I thought they were gonna do that at the beginning, to be
Yeah,
honest, because they've had that inspiration of they've all like the people in charge have all been in Japan, and Japan has the heavyweight tag
yeah,
belts and the junior tag belts, so it makes sense if they do that
yeah,
because then it's also like these high flyers can be in the juniors because of their weight class.
yeah,
And then the heavyweight tag is where you get like the revival and all that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And like the juniors would be like a private party esque teams.
yeah. Like the up and comer teams too that they recently signed,
Exactly. Yeah.
like a showcase tag
Or
team.
yeah, like they would be called cruiserweights if they were in WWE. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's who you would put in the junior tag team, and then the heavyweight tag team would just be. You could put experienced guys,
Yeah,
but you would have to make like a rule. Probably be like, oh, it has to be like a weight class. Because I remember when the Bucks were in Japan, they switched from like when they lost the junior belts, they moved up weight. I don't know how much weight it was, but to get to be able to fight for the heavyweight tag belts.
you
So
have
if they
to.
did 2 tag belts, that would be dope, I think.
Yeah, they could do like in order to compete for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, you got to at least to win or be in the weight class of the junior heavyweight
Yeah.
first, and then
And
move up.
exactly. And then that helps them with your tag champions always being on TV.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like 1 week is you'll only strictly see the junior tag belts and whoever's competing for those. The next week you'll see strictly heavyweight. Like they won't say, "Oh, this week is all about the heavyweight tag team." You know what I mean? They would,
yeah.
but you would see it and be like, "Okay, this week they're focusing more on the heavyweight tag teams. Oh, this week they're more focusing on the junior tag team belts."
Yeah.
So I think that would just
Yeah,
help them, and you don't get tired. Does like I've said about NXT, you get tired of seeing people every week, and that's why
Yeah.
NXT was special on the network.
yeah. So the thing is, I'm afraid that if they do create another belt, I hope it's not specifically an AEW Dark Championship where like every single week they're on the AEW Dark.
No, I hope not.
I feel like they're gonna eventually make an AEW Dark Championship. That's what I'm afraid of.
They need to make you want to watch
That
Dark.
show. Yeah.
Like if you told me, "Yo, don't miss this Tuesday. The Bucks are putting their belts on the line in an open challenge," and actually lose them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it be like, oh, like
Shit.
now I can't miss next week. like they just lost the belts on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then makes you want to tune in. And like that would be cool. Like 1 week, the heavyweight championship is gonna be on the line. Even if he doesn't lose it, put a challenger that's actually believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put Omega versus Page rematch, Omega versus like people Cody, like well Cody can't do it, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people that are believable. Don't give me, not to knock on them, but like
Marco
I'm
Stunt.
trying,
Marco Stunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
versus Kenny Omega versus, like if you put Jungle Boy, it's believable.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I would
You
say
say
Jungle Boy.
Marco Sam, I'd be like, I'm not tuning in. I'm
Yeah.
okay. Like I
Yeah. Get
know
out of here.
I know what this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Omega Kingston, Omega Pac. Give us those matches on Dark, and it'll make people watch it and watch it live. Cause I watch Dark, but I don't watch it live. Like
Yeah.
usually I watch it after
It
AEW
finishes.
on
Yeah.
Wednesdays. Yeah, like I'll be like, oh, you know what? I feel like watching more AEW.
Do it like that's what he said. Do it on TV so people won't go back and watch. People just watch it at the
Exactly.
moment. Because if
Exactly.
it's on YouTube, people are like you said, like people are gonna go back and watch it after, even though it already happened.
Yeah.
So it's like no one's gonna watch it live. Like no one really
And
cares
also,
for it at the moment. Impact is on. So
yeah, and what would help them, like, because every day of the week there's something on.
Yeah.
Except for Thursdays, and I think that
Exactly.
makes the most sense because Monday you got Raw, Tuesday you got Impact, which you tie in with. Wednesday you got your show, and then
Thursday you got
Thursday you got
Dark
Dark.
or something.
And then you could do so much stuff with it. Like you could have a number one contender match. Like for the first episode, Omega's gonna put his belt on the line.
Yeah, yeah.
Thursday night. Wednesday night you have a little bracket of like maybe 4 guys, like 8 guys go against each other, like trying to see who's number one contender.
Yeah.
And then you know what I mean? Like
I would also change the name. Like I wouldn't want to keep AEW Dark. That's gonna get people because in wrestling in WWE too, dark matches are not necessarily seen. So that's
I
gonna
think
give
I think that was the idea. Like
yeah,
this is AEW Dark, but like matches that you won't see. These are like
you don't see
tryout matches, like seeing how people do. Like it's just, I think it would be cool for them to go on TV with that show, and it just makes sense to. Now you got 3 nights in a row that AEW is being mentioned. 2 of them on TNT, 1 on Access. Like it helps you out in the long run.
Exactly. Then you have more. Like I said, it's cool that they're doing tryouts. I guess like somewhere like see like oh this person's good. Let's put him more on TV or something.
I like that how they don't call them tryouts though. Like they'll just be like, oh, this new guy.
Develop, yeah.
Underrated on Dark.
Yeah.
Taz and his commentary. Wow.
I love Taz. I love Taz.
And I think he's great at some points, and at some points he just rumbles his words together, and it's still entertaining. Like just put this guy on the commentary full time.
That's why he's a great manager, and that's why he's a great person on the mic in general. Yeah. I mean, like Team Taz, I love Team Taz.
Yeah,
like definitely. Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage, you barely hear them. You don't need to hear them. You don't need to be like, oh, these guys that talk. The ring does the talking for them. Ricky Starks, I'm kind of iffy on because he actually can cut a promo. So I wouldn't necessarily. I'm kind of confused. Like, he fits great in the team.
Yeah.
But he can cut his own promo. So I don't think that I was confused on why he got put into the group.
But I think they're gonna use that when he starts drifting away from them.
Yeah.
He'll use that to his advantage.
Yeah.
Because he's actually one of them that, like you said, he can go on the mic. And it's no problem for him. You know what I mean? So it'll be a surprise to people that don't know that when he finally does distance himself from Team Taz, and you finally say, "Wow, this guy."
Yeah.
Can actually talk.
Exactly. People don't realize it now because Taz is doing most of the talking. But it's like what you said, like when he's just away, it's like, oh shit, he can actually do this.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that makes I guess that could make sense too. Like he make become his own thing too.
Yeah. So Dark needs to become a TV show. We need a new. I think personally the other tag belt would help them out, just because of that. You don't see the same people every week.
Yeah.
And you're not looking forward to 2021 Shaq coming through.
Again, I said this. No, I'm not trying to be negative about it. I'm trying to like be open minded, but
Yeah,
at the same time, I'm like, at first I was kind of negative, but then I'm like, I'm trying to see. I'm still confused on why he's there. Like I don't understand.
it's just a partnership with TNT.
Yeah, like
Also, I think they're gonna put that on pause with the whole Brandy
yeah, being pregnant thing.
being
Yeah,
pregnant because she's a big piece of that storyline.
exactly. Because
I
like
think they're gonna have to put that on hold.
I thought that interview was gonna like give me answers and like why,
Yeah,
but it
nothing.
was just like, oh, he said something about Cody. Okay, but
It was.
why?
It was.
What beef do
Yeah.
you have? Like, what beef do you have that's making you go up against Cody?
I'm telling you, it's just a partnership. It's
Yeah, like I
just.
don't get it.
It's
Like,
like when Raw used to have the people saying front row of whoever was like whatever show was next. Oh, catch a monk tonight
yeah,
after Raw, new episode.
I
Like
remember that.
yeah, they would
He used to
just
have like whenever they did like special guest hosts, they would used to do people from like the USA Network or some shit,
yeah
and then like yeah,
yeah
like
people
now
who
when
had
they,
shows
when they do
like that time
Fox, they
that
have like the Fox like analysts from like NFL, MLB, they
yeah
have on there. So it's like, yeah, it's a
it's
partnership.
just all about partnerships.
Like
But yeah,
at least like it would have been like cool if like one day he just like accidentally interfered in a Cody match. That would have made somewhat sense. Like, oh, I was trying to help you out. Then
yeah,
that causes a match. But you're just gonna like throw him in there saying like, oh, you're gonna have a match with
just
Cody, but I don't get it.
let's
Like,
just
why?
throw them in there.
Yeah, like
It
I'm
just
still
makes no
gonna
sense.
exactly. It doesn't make any sense. But like, hopefully the match will be cool. I don't know when they're gonna do it, but
We'll see.
we'll
We'll
see. Yeah,
see if it
exactly.
happens.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like you said, like the Brandy being pregnant thing may delay the storyline a little bit. Um, if they don't bring anybody else in replacement of Brandy, which they shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't
But I
think
don't know.
so.
Yeah, I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see where it picks up again. I'm assuming that he's still going to be with the Sting storyline with Darby Allin and them for the meantime.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Cody and Sting. Like
Yeah,
everybody keeps telling me no. Everybody I talk to, they're like, nah, no shot. I'm like, they kind of hyped it up
yeah. I mean,
when they were in the ring together that time.
yeah,
And he said, I'm not here for you. Like, I'm good. No, thank
yeah,
you. It's gonna happen. I
yeah,
think this is where we talked about Cody for the past couple months has been an in between. Like he's
yeah,
been kind of heelish, kind of not. Some matches he's total heel. Some matches he's not. Like I thought he was when he lost the belt to Darby. I was like, oh, that's it. He's turning full heel. And then shook his hand after the match. I was like, okay. It'll happen at Dynamite. I said, let's do this. Sting came out. It was just he's just been there. Like I think kind of teasing, but
yeah,
they just been teasing for too long. That's just like, tell me what you are. Like let's see. I think it'll come to head when he attacks Sting.
yeah.
I think he'll end up attacking Sting, and that's when we'll get the full on heel Cody Rhodes, and
Yeah,
then Arn Anderson will be like, "What are you doing?" Da, 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 da. He'll hit him with a couple moves.
I mean,
I think that's the way to get him away from Arn Anderson. Then I
yeah,
thought about, oh, Arn Anderson, Sting, they don't fuck with each other. Here we go. This is when Cody turns heel. Nothing yet.
yeah,
But I think
exactly.
we're gonna get that match. Do you feel anybody deserves like after Omega, let's say Omega doesn't hold it the whole year. Who do you think will grab the title next? Who do you think
That's
deserves it?
that's a tough one because the thing is too with AEW is they they have records every year. Like once 2021 starts, everyone's record is back to 0-0, and they got to
Yeah.
build up their records first. So I would have based it on that, but again, the new year hasn't started yet. But if I were to choose anybody in the roster, I would say no. I mean, I would love Sean Spears to go for the championship, to compete for it. I feel like he deserved the championship opportunity, but I wouldn't necessarily say he would win it. Um, but if I were to say a person that would take it off of Omega, it would probably have to be either
It's
either
tough,
Eddie.
right?
Yeah, it's tough. I can't even think of it, man.
Tough.
I'm trying to think of someone who I personally want, but it's like there's a lot of guys. I would probably say either Eddie Kingston or Brian Cage. Actually, no, I scrapped that. Actually, no. Page, Hangman Page.
Page. Okay.
I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
can see that.
it would probably be like in terms of storyline wise, yeah, probably Page because they had the history. So it would probably be Page, but I would want maybe a Kingston or a Brian Cage. Because I love both of them. They're my two top guys right now that should go for the AEW championship. That should get it off. If they go for another Moxley match, I'm like, no, I'm done. I wouldn't watch it.
It's tough. It's tough.
But, yeah.
Like with Moxley, it's just I don't know. People really hate on him.
I mean, I love him in the ring, yeah, but it's like I wouldn't want to see him go on the top again. Like we've seen enough of the
let him do other storylines.
Yeah.
I don't like how people shit on him though. Like they'll be like, "Oh, he can't do a match if it's not a hardcore match." And it's like
he can do everything.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, that's his gimmick.
Yeah,
like,
that's his
crazy.
Thing.
Yeah, that's the point of him bringing in hardcore stuff. Like that's the gimmick. That's who he is. That's why it happens. But I would like to see like an Eddie Kingston. You know that I picked Eddie Kingston to win it. Yeah, I thought it was gonna happen, and Eddie Kingston. And I would also like to see. I don't know if it might be too early for him.
So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you a similar question. So for all the titles, AEW World Title, the Women's Title, Tag Team, and TNT Championships.
Yeah.
By December 31st, 2021, who do you expect to see as those 4 champions by that time?
By that time?
Yeah.
TNT's tough because that's a tough bout. Like, I kind of see Cody getting it back. I think that's just, it's going to be like his title.
I was going to say that too. Like, it's pretty much his title.
But I think it's also, like, I think he's going to keep winning it, but I also think he's going to keep losing it. Yeah. I think Cody's there. Like, he knows he's not going to be the star of the company. People are going to hate him for winning the belt. But him winning the belt is going to help put over a lot of guys.
Exactly.
As you saw when he was doing the open challenge.
Yeah.
For Sonny Kiss, Mark Quinn. You know what I mean? Like he had those matches and helping them get on the show first of all, and also making it look believable that they might take the belt off of him. Yeah. I think Cody's really good at bringing new guys up. And I think that's what he's going to keep doing. I think he's going to keep winning the TNT title, but it's only for that, to build up the next guy. I don't think he'll ever have like a year reign or a 2-year reign. Like he'll have his reign of terror, but it'll just be him losing it and getting it back. And I think everybody that loses it to him will then move up from the TNT picture to the world title picture. Because I could see a Darby Allin versus Omega match for the title. Definitely. It's not believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think so personally, I think we might see the year end with Cody as champion again. Okay. If not, maybe a Starks, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe
that's what I'm thinking too.
A young guy that's coming up, but I think they'll lose it. They'll beat Cody for it. I think Cody's going to get the belt back. I think, like I said, that's going to be his thing to help elevate other guys. The tag champs, tough, because there's so many fucking tag teams to pick from. That's like, who you really gonna put? I would love to see Private Party. I love Private Party. Those are my guys. I think that would be awesome for them to win the belt. But then it's like there's so many other tag teams that's like that would also be great. Like I don't think the Bucks are gonna, like I said,
because what you said about Cody with elevating other guys, I think they're the same thing too. Like they're gonna go up against.
You've seen them going against the young guys coming up, like guys that were just on Dark, and they give them a title match and giving them that platform to show themselves to like shine. You know what I mean? Yeah.
This next match they have against the Acclaimed, I think next week or the week after. Definitely, obviously retaining it. Like I don't see them losing it. I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Not the team to beat them for it, but like
I think it'll be a big build up.
Yeah.
for a young team that they'll be like,
You're probably gonna see them more on Dynamite now than AEW. I think that's like
yeah,
their final chapter. Like, you know what? This
yeah.
is permanent now for AEW Dynamite.
I think all the guys that are like that were like with the idea of AEW are just there to elevate people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people try to trash the company with like who's champion and all this, like when Cody won and they were like, oh, he booked himself as champion. It's like, nah, it's just he's a known name.
Yeah.
How you gonna elevate new people? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
The only way to elevate new people, Ambrose. Everybody loved Ambrose. He moved to AEW. Moxley won the belt. Cool. Everybody remembers him as Ambrose, though.
But now
WWE
you know him as Moxley.
Yeah, WWE fans who might not watch AEW like that. Oh, he's on this now. Oh, he's Moxley now. Okay, but he's still Ambrose to me. When Kenny beat him, it was like AEW, like not AEW fans, but like wrestling fans knew Kenny is nice in the ring. You know what I mean? Like we were straight on about it, but like casual fans or people who just watch WWE but watch Moxley matches because it's Moxley are now gonna look at Omega like, oh wow, they let him beat Moxley. Like now I could watch this and try and get behind, like see what's up with him.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just makes him believable. That's like the whole Jericho thing when Jericho was champion. It was like to help elevate the guys to make other people look believable.
Yeah, like that. He made me like, even though Paige didn't win it, I was like, okay, I didn't know much about Paige beforehand. I was like, okay, this Paige is dope. He could eventually be an AEW World Champion now.
He gave a great match against Jericho, and it made people that didn't know him be like, oh wow, like even though I think he should have been the second champ, but that's a whole nother story.
Exactly.
But yeah, and then as world champ, this is a far fetched, but I would love to see MJF.
Oh, no definitely.
It might be too early for him, but
maybe
it's just he makes you hate him, and like even if you try to like him, he makes you hate him. Like
you hate him.
And that guy lives the gimmick. Like there'll be videos of him signing autographs and like it's just great. Like, he's just he reminds me of an old school guy. Like he don't even post on social media like that. Like anything that's not in character. Like when he got heel of the year. Yeah. It was like, why did I deserve this? I'm a good guy. Like it's just stuff like that. It's like okay, like it's just he lives the gimmick. I think he's a great character, and I think he's nice in the ring. I think people like to just say, "Oh, he's good on the mic." He might not be doing the high flying things, but he's nice in the ring. And I think they really like looked at him. I don't know if you remember the first, was it All In? All In, the first ever pay-per-view that they did it under Ring of Honor. It was All In, right?
Yeah, All In.
And I think he was the kickoff match. He was the first match of the pay-per-view. Forgot who he went against. But I think that was one of his best performances I've seen. And I've seen him in person. And I think that match really like made people realize like this guy is actually nice in the ring. Like he's not just all talk. But I would love to see him as champion. Even though it might be too early for him. But I think the way his character's going, and it'll help you put whoever is going against, like going for the belt, it'll make them a star. Because you just love to hate MJF. I was going to say The Miz, because basically. Yeah. But it just makes you hate him.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just great. I think that's how he's going to be somebody like a Piper that you just hated him. It's going to be like,
I was thinking the same thing.
I hate him. And everybody that goes against him, you're going to look as Hogan. Like, he has to take it off of him. Like, please take it off of him. And I think that's how good he is.
Yeah.
Like, to even be in that state. Like, for me to say that sentence is insane. Yeah. About somebody. Yeah. But he just had his character.
He has it.
Yeah. He just has it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see him as champion. How about you? What do you think?
I was going to say either or him or Paige, one of those two. Because I feel like those
Paige
are two.
Deserves it, man.
Yeah, those people are the two people who need it. Like not like right now. Like this is the year that they should win it. And just say, oh, they were AEW World Champion at least. They don't. Like, it'd be cool if they see these guys win it multiple times. But if we just say like, oh, MJF was a former AEW World Champion, if he ends up, like, he's probably gonna stay there for a while, a long, long time. But eventually, if they end up going to a different company, if they do go to Impact, they do go to, if by chance, I hope not, or soon, anytime soon, if they do go to NXT or something, be like, oh, this guy was a former AEW World Champion. Even though you won't say it, you could be like, oh, he won the AEW World Championship. That's big. That's obviously a big thing.
Definitely, yeah.
So knowing that's on stake for that superstar, it's great to know that they were a former AEW World Champion.
Yeah, exactly.
And they need that.
Same
thing with Moxley. That was big from Moxley when he won it. It was like, okay, it's awesome. He won the AEW World Championship. That's awesome. He can go to even though he was in New Japan too, he could win their heavyweight championship. He could win their IC United States Championship again and be like, he's former AEW World Champion.
I would love for like a storyline like that. Like, let's say everything opens up, right? And AEW works with New Japan on the down low. Like, nobody really knows.
Yeah.
Their guys show up on both shows. Like how a lot of the TNA guys, a lot of the Impact guys were showing up at the New Japan show, the tournament they were having.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of his name. Oh my God. He just won the belt for them. The X Division belt. Perkins.
Yeah.
He was in the tournament. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the guys.
Chris Bay was in the tournament too, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So it just makes sense. Like everybody's working together, and I would just love like a big show to have in New Japan, and like Kenny loses it. You know what I mean? Like he just loses it, and then Dynamite opens with like a package showing this is what you missed this past week in New Japan. Like Kane lost the belt. You know what I mean? And then and that's how you get that tie-in of guys starting to come over and just. But I think that would be dope. But I think Paige does deserve it.
Yeah.
But if you want to go like full in with the working together and cross promotion, that would be insane. Him just showing up on New Japan, defending the belt. Let's say the night of, like, it's tough because New Japan likes to build up shit. But if he was just like, yo, I want a title match tonight, and they're like, the only way you can do that is if, like, let's say he cuts a promo, like, at a press conference or something, because they like to do press conferences too. He's just like, put your belt on the line against me tomorrow night, da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, okay, well, if you put your title on the line, I'll put mine on the line.
Yeah.
And then that's how he loses it. If you don't follow New Japan, you don't know nothing. You won't find out till Dynamite.
Exactly.
And then it's like, oh, wow. And then that's how into promotion. I should work for these companies because it's just,
man. You're right, man.
That'd be shit that I think of that I'll just be sitting there. I'll be like, that'd be cool if they do. Like, I like how they're doing the Good Brothers and Omega working together.
Yeah.
I caught that shit from the jump. I still think they're gonna work with Ring of Honor because Marty Scurll is over there. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's just Bullet Club members just everywhere.
And there's definitely something setting up.
Yeah, and now he's a backstage guy, Marty Scurll. Like, I think he's like, I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's like a writer or something, or like a director. I forgot what title he has, but that was like his excuse for not signing with AEW. They like gave him a backstage role. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start working together, even though in the circuit debates that we were in, they brought up that AEW has a deal with AAA, but Ring of Honor has a deal with CMLL, and they're rivals. But it's like all of that could be overlooked if you just look at the dinero. That's it.
That's it. Paying him big bucks and like, bet I would do anything.
Yo, I don't know. It's just money talks. Money really talks. And that's something that I think is going to be a big deal. A lot of people, like, I remember there was a time that they wanted to, like, before Shinsuke got signed to WWE, they were like, oh, Shinsuke versus Bryan, the two Intercontinental Champions. And it's like, that would have never worked. Like, think of, like, people want to see, like, I think a couple weeks ago, Triple H was like, oh, yeah, we're open to working with other companies. I'm going to tell you right now.
No.
You want to know how open they are? Let's say they work with New Japan. There's no way Okada's not getting pinned by Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre. There's no way WWE's going to let their champion pin theirs. It's good. It's all about ego with them, and I think that's why they've never worked with anybody. I think that's why they just keep on buying small companies, like
Yeah.
how they have all those UK companies on the network.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you think they got that? They have money in the company. Basically, the companies are still running, but
The
they got
WWE.
WWE
Yeah.
influence. They're doing what Vince did with ECW, but just out there. Vince was low key sending money to Paul Heyman, like when ECW was happening. Like, yo, that's how RVD showed up on Raw. That's how all these guys.
John Cena was able to go. Big Show, Batista, like all
Yo,
these
it's
guys.
like, it's just. I think that's what's hurting them, hurting WWE. I think if they did a cross promotion with somebody, even if it was a small thing, I think it would help them.
I thought I
Because
thought I thought NXT would have been the first one to partner up with Impact before AEW.
no shot.
Because like I said this on the circle debate thing too, where it was like, oh, Impact is not like they're open about talking about WWE. They're not against WWE. They have no backlash or
Yeah,
anything.
they're alternative.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I
I
mean?
thought
They're
they would have gone.
alternative.
I thought they would have gone over to NXT first and be like, "Hey, let's do something."
No
Even though most of the
shot.
guys or the former WWE guys, that would have made perfect sense. Like, oh, we returned. We're with Impact now. We're coming over to take over your company because you're with them now.
But I
Something
think
like
what
that.
it is that they don't want to do that because, like you said, most of the guys in Impact got released and now are in Impact. What does that look like as the guy that you just released pinning somebody from your show?
Yeah,
A Kurt Hawkins just having a one-on-one match with, let's say, a Kyle O'Reilly just to have a one-on-one match, and
that'd be awesome.
Hawkins pins him. Like, you know what I mean? Like that looks bad. You know what I mean? Rich Swann, the champion, facing the champion of NXT. Who you gonna have? It's all about. I'm telling you, it's all about ego with WWE because they're gonna be like, oh, how could we make? Like, I don't care what anybody says. People are gonna be like, oh, Triple H is different. Triple H is not Vince. Triple H has the same mindset. Yeah, he's doing all this NXT stuff, but if you look at it, he's doing the same thing Vince did. Vince going up, he bought all the territories, right?
Yep.
What is Triple H, like I just talked about a few minutes ago? What is he doing in the UK? He's taking all the territories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now they're saying he's putting a territory in India. And you know what's gonna happen? All those independent federations over there are gonna get
Bought.
taking all their champions, all of their top stars. It's the same thing Vince did when he bought all these different territories and start. Because I think who was it? Hogan was from Florida. Hogan was in one of the Florida federations. He bought that territory and took their champion. Like it's the same thing. Just we're looking at it as, oh, this is good. This is something we've never seen. We've seen it before. Vince did it. Like he's just not doing it at a TNA level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not doing it at AEW. He's doing it in the independents. He's looking at, let's say, I'm trying to think of a company right now that's like big in the States. PWG. When they were going, everybody from PWG, look at a show from like 2014, 2015, all of them are probably signed to WWE.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, he's not taking the companies, but guess what?
He's taking
the champions. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's the same
thing.
fucking thing. And people are like, oh, wow, he's giving all these people chances. That's what people said
taking the
about
company.
Vince. Oh, that's what people said about Vince. Oh, wow, he's finally giving this guy from Florida a chance to make it in New York. Yeah, because he took the champ. Now there's nothing over there.
Yeah.
So now guess what? They got to sell the territory to him. You know what I mean? Like there's no other option. So I think that's how I feel about that. But I think it would help WWE to do interpromotion, but it won't happen because of ego. Like I said, your champion can't pin my champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your champion's a smaller guy than my champion. Like let's say when Keith Lee was champion, they decided to do an interpromotion thing with Impact. Who was the champion then? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now.
I think it might have been Sami Callihan, maybe, or was it Eric Young? Was it Eric Young?
Wait,
might have been Eric Young.
Let me see. I gotta look this up. Damn, when the hell is it?
It was this year, right?
What happened?
Was it before NXT or you're talking before NXT or?
No, like this year in
Yeah,
July
I think it was Eric Young that was the world
it
champion.
was Eric Young already.
I think so. Because he had it for a while. I think he had it for most of 2020. Or either him or because Rich Swann took it from Eric Young. I forgot who.
Yeah, he
Eric
took. I remember he took it from Eric Young. I remember that.
I forgot.
I'm trying to see who was. Oh, here we go. List of world champions.
I think it might have been either.
Let's see who was champion.
Ethan Page.
Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards. July.
Yeah.
You think Triple H was gonna do an interpromotion?
No.
And let Eddie Edwards look believable against Keith Lee? No fucking way. It's all about ego.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even probably let Eddie Edwards get a
pin, not even a temp pin. That's a
like it's all about ego.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's all about ego with WWE, and that's just the way it is, man.
So now, heading into the 2021 year, what are your expectations and hopes? We could do a really long episode for WWE, but what are your few? We could. What are your few expectations for the company to do differently, and like, not anything they're doing wrong? What do you want to happen in terms of like matches, people, anything in WWE and NXT if you want to include NXT?
So for the main roster, we gotta get better shows. That's every year though.
Yeah.
But they just everything they've been doing lately, it's either a hit or miss, but that's all the time. But now it's like it's either really good or it's just really bad. Like the Roman thing turned out to be really good. You know what I mean? Like at first it was like Roman again, like let's see where this heads out. And it's actually been a cool storyline they're doing with him, and it just really worked. And then there's other things that just flop.
Yeah.
So, but that's always a thing every year. Better shows. You can say that for every company.
Yeah.
What I do want to see from WWE is more tag team women. Like the tag teams they have, we talk about every week. They just create tag teams because they just want to. But like you create a new tag team every week and do nothing with them. Like at least let's do something with the tag belts. You just had a tag team that would tag champs who weren't a tag team lose to a team that aren't really a team.
Yeah.
It's like. And then the next night, I think, who beat Nia and Shayna?
Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke.
A real tag team. Finally, they beat them. Why weren't they the ones to take the belt off of them?
Yeah.
Why wasn't it Riot Squad? You know what I mean? Like this.
Exactly.
You actually have good tag teams, but just don't want to do nothing with them. You just want to keep on. And of course, like with the Charlotte thing, let's just put all the belts on Charlotte. Like, what belt hasn't she held yet? Let's give it to her. Like once that rumor came out, I was like, all right, so they're losing the tag belts. Dope. Finally, Shayna can do something. Shayna needs to be a champion by the end of this year.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me in the women's division.
Yeah.
Not only build up your tag team division with actual tag teams, but Shayna needs a title run. I think she should be the one. Yeah, I think she should be the one to take it off Asuka.
Yeah.
I think they would have a great match.
Oh, hell
they
yeah.
Both have, both have that background in like kind of like submissions. You know what I mean? Like like Asuka not so much, but Shayna was a former MMA fighter. Asuka loves chain wrestling and putting submissions on. You know what I mean? It just makes
definitely.
Sense.
They're both of them. It will flow smoothly. It wouldn't. It's the same technical wrestling and same. It's not different. I mean, sometimes when wrestling two different types of wrestling work well together, but it's like also two of the same type of wrestling also works even better.
Yeah.
And to see both of them, because we did see a little bit when they were in the Elimination Chamber earlier this year, but that was actually a little bit. It wasn't a long time.
Yeah.
I hope that revolves around that storyline where it's like, okay, I remember at the Elimination Chamber we both faced off. Now we're going back to it.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it's not going that way. I don't think it's going that way. I
Wait,
want it to happen, obviously, yeah, but I think it's
it's
going to go
not.
ahead. Yeah, it's definitely heading towards the route of Charlotte versus Asuka, and probably
Yeah.
Charlotte winning like her 20th championship this year.
But we had Charlotte versus Asuka at Mania already, and that was when you broke our hearts
Yeah,
and had her tap out at Mania.
clean. It
Like,
wasn't.
I get
God.
it. You want to push your people. You want them to look unstoppable. But there's some moments that need to happen. We
Yeah.
needed the Asuka to win.
Yeah.
We needed, like, it's tough, man. Especially with that. Like, I think Asuka should have won that match.
Yeah.
I think she should have went on a tear. I think finally when somebody would beat her, it's the same thing with the Taker. It should have been somebody that wasn't made yet. Charlotte was already a multiple-time champion.
Yeah.
When she beat Asuka. Why didn't you have somebody who never won the belt beat her? That would have been the shock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the shock factor.
Like when Bayley lost her title in NXT. I think it was the weekend of Mania. What weekend was that? I forgot what Mania was.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to think of it.
Wait, was it 32? Was it the first? I think it was the first takeover.
It was a 31. It was a 31?
No, 32. 32 was the first NXT takeover before Mania. That was the one in Dallas that Shinsuke debuted.
Yeah.
I think that was the night Bayley lost the belt, right?
Yeah. Wasn't it Samoa Joe and Finn Balor that?
Yeah. Now I gotta look this up. Hold on.
I think that was Samoa Joe versus versus Finn Balor on NXT.
Yeah, that was the main event that he started bleeding and it was this thing. I think
that's when she lost. Who did she lose to? I thought Bayley was the one that beat her.
Yes, Bayley lost to. No, Asuka put her to sleep. Asuka put her to sleep the weekend of Dallas.
Oh shit! Yeah.
that was the big. Oh shit! Like
Bayley just lost.
Because Bayley was like they were behind Bayley.
Yeah.
And when she put Bayley to sleep, like it wasn't even like a pinfall. She put her to sleep.
Yeah, she put her to sleep.
And it was shocking, and that's what put Asuka on the scene. And I think that's how you needed to have Asuka lose.
Yeah, someone put her to sleep, like someone.
Yeah, like I get it. Charlotte's believable.
Yeah.
But why couldn't like a Carmella beat her?
Exactly.
Or like a Natalia. Like I know Natalia's built up too, but somebody to help them build up. That's the same thing with Brock Lesnar. Why did Brock break the streak? It should have been a Wyatt. It should have been a young and upcoming guy. It should have, could have been a Roman. Should have been Punk at 29, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just, like it should have been 20-0, and then that one match you lose and you retire. After 29, he should have lost. It should have been 20-1, and then retire.
Yeah.
Or never let him get beat.
Yeah.
You let a guy who was in the company, a champion, went to MMA, was a champion. Like, I get it. Same thing with Charlotte. It's believable. But why not let somebody else do it? So I feel Asuka and Charlotte, we've already seen. I would love for Shayna to beat Asuka at Mania, put her to sleep, and I'll be like, whoa, okay, Shayna. And Shayna needs to have a dominant run. And I don't mean, a roll up here, a roll up there.
Like put everyone
she needs to put Charlotte to sleep.
She needs to put
Becky
Nia
needs
to
return, and she needs to put her to sleep. Nia, anybody who comes in her way needs to put her to sleep. And I think she should hold it till next Mania. Whenever she wins it. Let's say she wins it at this Mania, hold it till next Mania. And then that's when you have somebody from NXT get a call up, like around like November or something. You build them up, have them win the Rumble, and that's how you take a champion off of somebody. You help. We talked about this with AEW. You help build somebody else.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be like, oh, he was a champion, right? Oh, he's gonna beat him, or she's gonna beat her. You know what I mean? Like, help build. Because if you're not gonna, again, TLC. We pre-record this, so TLC has just happened. The Roman Reigns thing with Kevin Owens, I felt you needed Kevin Owens to win because there's no one else in SmackDown to go against Roman.
Yeah.
To have a good heel, you need a good hero. and vice versa. Right now, there's nobody on SmackDown that can beat Roman. It's believable. But having Kevin Owens finally beat him would have been like, oh, there's a weakness to Roman. We get it. Your champion's strong. Everyone has a weakness, though. You need to build somebody for them. It's cool having a champion, but it's not cool having no one for them to go against that's believable.
Now that just puts me in the perspective of like, oh, now Jay is going to be the one to cost Roman the championship. That's the only way I can see him losing. Because like you said, he's pretty much beaten every single top guy. Maybe if Seth Rollins can come back and turn babyface, which I don't want to happen.
We don't
but
want,
it's like, yeah,
we
don't want that
the Rollins. I know fucking Vince would be jacking off to that. Roman and Seth main event.
He fucking would.
Like, he would fucking have a stroke.
He would, yeah.
Like, but it's like
breaking news. Vince is after following the main event.
Yeah, like it's like, why didn't you just had a draft?
Yeah.
Why didn't you keep guys on SmackDown or draft people to SmackDown that are believable?
Yeah.
Why are we worrying about Drew versus Brock versus Keith Lee that's rumored for Mania when we could have had Roman versus Keith Lee at Mania and actually a real threat to him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody's a real threat to Roman, but now you're seeing that he's unstoppable. Who could stop him?
Yeah.
The only person, in my opinion, right now that they can do something with is bringing Brock back.
And then that's even worse. That's even then it's gonna be Brock.
But I don't even mind Brock because Brock they've proved has weak points.
Yeah,
he lost to Seth. They're just not letting Roman lose. Like, it's cool with the storyline. Like, it's like, oh, they're doing the same thing they did before, but they're getting away with it because now Roman's heel and people like it. Yeah. But they're doing the same thing. He's always winning.
He's always
winning. No one goes undefeated. You know what I mean?
Everyone's got to lose. Everyone's got to
lose.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to lose. Like, and even when, like, the Goldberg, when he went on that incredible streak in the 90s, he finally lost. It was shocking. Yeah, they had to do it dirty, but he finally lost. Everyone has to lose. So, like, and like I said, you got to build up somebody to stand across the ring from him. If you just have him trample over the whole roster and you just had the draft in October and it's only December and I'm telling you there's no one on SmackDown to fight him, that's a bad move.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong. Like, nobody has really been built up to be a threat except for Kevin Owens. That's why I was like, okay, I can see Owens winning this. And then Roman winning it back around Mania.
He does have a second chance, though, because on SmackDown this week, he is having another championship match. So at this point, whenever this episode is released, he could be champion again. Who knows? He could actually get it. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But it's... I don't know.
It's just, that's my whole thing. You got to build up people to be believable.
Yeah.
Raw, they built up Randy to be believable, to beat Drew. You know what I mean? They had somebody across from him. That's something that I'll give the Raw writers. They actually did right. They gave him a good threat to take his belt away. And they did. He did take it. You know what I mean? And now they're doing the same thing with the Sheamus storyline. And Keith Lee's getting involved a little bit. They're making it believable that
one of those guys.
Lose. And he lost already. It makes it believable that he can lose again. It's tough when somebody hasn't lost since they've returned.
Yeah.
And now I guess they want maybe do something at Mania, have him lose at Mania. But then again, who are you going to let beat Roman? And also, is Vince going to let him lose at Mania?
Oh, no. That is his, like, worst nightmare. That is his worst nightmare. That's what I'm saying.
It makes sense to build somebody up. But first, who's there to build up? And then second of all, is Vince going to let it happen?
No, that's his golden child right there. He would not let. He would. The last thing he wants is to have a bad Roman moment. That is the worst. Like, the last thing he would want to happen, even if it's heel or not. Like, if something little goes on, if he makes him lose at Mania, that would probably be like his worst decision that he would make.
Yeah.
Not ours, you know.
Yeah.
But if we want it to happen, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, everybody wants to see the Daniel Bryan versus Roman match. I'm good on that. I'll pass. I'm I'm
Yeah.
fine. I'm okay with not seeing that. And they're like, oh, Daniel Bryan can have another Mania moment. I'm okay. I've been Daniel Bryan hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not a knock on him. It's just they don't give him the they don't give him the thought that they should. Like
It should be Big E.
doing stuff with
I would say Big E, but like
Oh
he's not.
my god, it should be. If you're not gonna have the Usos fight at Mania, you should have the Usos get together at Mania. Maybe have them switch brands, but still be part of the bloodline or whatever you want to call it. Imagine having the New Day versus the Usos for the belt, like opening the card and then closing the card
with
Roman and Big E.
Yeah.
With the Usos and New Day at the corners.
Yeah, yeah. You have like a cross promotion match, like we challenge like have them open open challenge, like yo, New Day, come through if you're scared, something like that.
Yeah.
And they come through, they actually go through.
Let the Usos beat the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they're the current tag champions. Yeah.
Yeah, I blinked for a moment. I was like, wait. Yeah. I was like,
right, people.
Because Street Profits don't need it right now.
Yeah.
They could have a Mania match without the titles on the line. You could have them just feud with another tag team. That doesn't mean the Street Profits have to be off the card.
Exactly.
But you could have Usos be like, yo, you want to talk all that talk, come through. And even you could have champion versus champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully New Day doesn't grab the belts. I want her business to hold it for a while.
Hold it for a while.
But maybe that's what you do. Maybe they trade two people. You could do a whole bunch of stuff to make that storyline work. And that's one thing that's helping build somebody. That's Big E being a legit competitor. You know what I mean? Like them making him a legit competitor. But will it happen? Most likely.
Nah.
We would love to see it.
Yeah.
We would love to see Mania end with New Day pick up Big E on both their shoulders. They're holding the tag belts and he's holding up the world title. It would be wonderful. In an ideal world, you know what I mean? Like,
in our eyes, it'll probably happen, but Vince's eyes is like, no way.
Like, you gave Kofi the moment and it was dope, and I think Kofi should have closed the show. Like, I don't know why you had that's a whole thing.
It's a whole.
But
it's a whole episode.
Let Big E close the show, holding the belt over his head. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, and then that makes sense to build Roman up so strong that now Big E is gonna capitalize on that by beating him, because then it's gonna be like, whoa, Big E from the New Day. You know what I mean? It makes him legit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just gotta. That's the thing, man. They just gotta make legit opponents, and just I don't know. They just gotta make it flow better. I just feel like it's just. Who would you like to see as champion by the end of the year on both brands?
Ooh.
Like if it stays the way it is, like it stays the same rosters.
Okay. So for the WWE Championship, I would love to see Keith Lee. It's probably gonna end up being The Miz, since he might end up getting his contract back.
Let's get it.
Did you call it? Didn't you call it? Like, didn't you say like someone's gonna get it back? Yeah. I knew so. I knew it too. As soon as let's speak about that too. As when that match happened, I knew like, yo, The Miz is. I called it too. I was like, The Miz cashed in. They're not gonna count that.
It was such a waste of a moment, though.
Yeah, I know, right? They could have not done that at all,
or even have him win it. Like, that's so different. Nobody's ever cashed in on a ladder match. You know what I mean? Like,
they could have done it differently. They could have done this like. It was so weird.
Actually, what would be crazy is, let's say, if they never, let's say he gets it back, they don't do the thing that I want to happen at Mania, and he holds it for a year. And he holds it till Money in the Bank. And they're like, yo, if you don't cash in tonight, you lose it. And now everybody's like, oh, he's going to cash in. He's going to cash in. But he actually cashes in on the Money in the Bank match and wins the briefcase again. It'll be like, oh shit. He's I have it for another year. I just cashed in. Technically, it's a title match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're true.
That would be, and that would just make it so much better for his character because it'll be like this fucking guy just doesn't stop.
Yeah,
hate him. And it's like, how does he get away with these things? Yeah. And it just helps his character out.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, but on the question, I would want to see a Keith Lee have it won, or sometime in 2021, sometime in the year. I want to see him win it. I want to see him at least pin it clean. Would I want to see him take it off Drew McIntyre? Maybe.
I do.
I would want to see Sheamus hold it first, though, and then have Keith Lee pin Sheamus. Unless it's a heel Keith Lee, then okay, yeah. But like, wouldn't want to see a babyface versus a babyface, and just I feel like one of them was gonna end up turning heel, and I don't know.
I feel Drew's so good at being a heel.
Yeah,
he's so good at being a heel.
That would be acceptable for me. If Drew McIntyre turns heel, I wouldn't be mad at that match versus Keith Lee.
Yeah, like just have him turn on Keith Lee. Like like he's been like how Sheamus kicked him, and he was like, "Oh, what are you doing to have Drew just turn on Keith Lee?" And then you think you've been thinking that he's trying to keep peace, but really not.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, you're the new guy here. You shouldn't be like running around talking about that smack already. Yeah, and like maybe forming an alliance.
I think he's
Sheamus.
So good at talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome, and that's how you get the belt off Lashley. You give it to Sheamus.
Bet. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, dope.
And then Keith Lee could feud with Lashley after Mania. Maybe we get Keith Lee and Lashley at like a SummerSlam or something.
Yo.
But I would love to see at SummerSlam Keith Lee as champion taking on Matt Riddle.
Oh, I would love that. Me too. I was thinking the same exact thing.
That would be just great. Like, of course, I don't know if they would give it to Matt Riddle, but just I know, like I've seen the matches they've had. And I know they have that chemistry together that they can put on. They can put on a show.
I would say because I was thinking too. Like I was thinking that maybe.
But that you would have to do a face versus face.
Yeah.
And you would just have to be. You would have to use the storyline that they traveled together. They did all this stuff together. And as a friend, I see that you're valued in this company. I want to give you a title shot.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was thinking of like for the other tag team. For other championships, either I want to see Matt Riddle have the United States Championship or hold the tag team, because it's like he's lately he's been doing with her business.
Then, that's how you get the belt off Lashley. You could put Riddle, and McIntyre's with Sheamus. Keith Lee might be with Riddle. You know what I mean? Like you can build stuff all together and make everything tie in. Yeah. And it puts different people in the title picture.
Yeah. Because it seems like they're doing the Hardy Bros thing with Jeff Hardy, which I'm kind of on board for. I'm kind of on it. Like, I want to see how far it goes with it, because like I don't know if if it's gonna be like a bust or like something different. Yeah. I like it. I like the concept. It's funny. It's cool. So I either see Matt Riddle and Hardy being the tag team champions by the end of the year, or having Riddle be United States champion by the end of the year. But if he does have the United States championship, I hope to see what tag teams on. This is the hard part too, as you mentioned before, with the tag teams. Same with them too. I don't know.
Like, New Day's on Raw. That's it.
I was gonna say maybe a call up. I was gonna say have Breezango win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They should go up. They should go to SmackDown. Like, they really need help with that. I want to see them win the SmackDown Tag Champions. I want to see. This is probably gonna be like no. You know what? I changed that. I want the Mysterio family to win the tag team championships by the end of the year.
Mysterio, and Buddy.
Mysterio, and then Birdie win the IC championship.
Buddy, what happened with them?
I don't know.
Is that just one that flopped that they just stopped? They were like,
I guess so.
This ain't working.
Yeah, I guess.
Or maybe they looked at the long-term plan and were like, yeah, let's just stop this before we go deeper.
Yeah.
I think everyone off TV.
I have a feeling they're gonna pick it back up eventually. Like, when they return, they're gonna be together still, but like they're gonna head into something else. The last time I remember, they were feuding with Corbin, and their new group. So I'm assuming they're gonna pick that back up and probably have a match together at one point.
Maybe in the new year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I kind of want to, like, I low key want to see Corbin as Universal Champion. But I want to see him by the end of the year.
Corbin's nice, man.
He is, man. I want to see him as champion,
nice.
but
And
knowing
that's somebody that would like beating a Roman would be like, oh shit. Him?
But you wouldn't like, the thing is that they wouldn't do that because they want to keep both of them as the top heels. So I wouldn't necessarily see Corbin as the one beating Roman. I would see more him beating the Big E, being like the more upset. Not in a way where like Brock Lesnar beat Kofi. Like I'm assuming like, oh, you put a serious feud, but give it time to build up. Then maybe like TLC next year or Hell in a Cell, you have Corbin beat Big E for the championship. I'd say, okay, that was fair.
Or even at the next Big Four, like SummerSlam. SummerSlam would be a crazy ass card if we booked that shit. We already got Riddle and Lee, and we got Big E and Corbin. What a card so far.
I know, right? 2 for 2.
What a card.
SmackDown Women's Champion, I would want to see Bianca Belair at the end of the year as Women's Champion.
That's an easy one.
That's no question. It's a brainer.
I still want Carmella to win. It throughout the year.
Yeah.
But Bianca she should win it.
She needs it.
Everybody's like, Bianca. What's up?
No, I was gonna say Raw Women's Champion. Want to say Baszler? She should win it too. Yes, I want her to win it in 2021.
Mania. She should have won it last year. But
this is hard because it's so hard to like determine like, oh man, this person should win it, but also this person. I don't know, because I want to see long-term title reigns instead of just like, oh, he won it for 2 weeks, you're good. No, I want to see like actually build up, like beating people for it. For me, a short title reign is less than a month. If you can carry it for like at least a month and a half or 2 months, then okay, that's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah. You know what would also be dope? I'm just fantasy booking here. Ronda Rousey coming back.
I call it, like, you heard it at the Sickle Debate podcast whenever that's out. I said Ronda Rousey should win the Royal Rumble, and that's what I'm expecting in 2021. That's what I'm hoping for. That's gonna happen.
I can see it happening, but down the line, imagine her and Shayna tag champs.
Oh, dude, that would be phenomenal.
That's insane.
That would be it.
You know what would even be better?
What?
This is OD though, because then they'll be like, oh, it's because it's Ronda. If you have Ronda win the Rumble, she goes for the SmackDown belt, right?
Yeah.
Say she beats Sasha or whoever's champion. Shayna beats Asuka at Mania. Somehow, some way, they win the tag belts together, and now they're on both shows, and NXT because of the champions.
Oh my god, that would.
And it will just make you hate both of them. Like people already hate Ronda.
Yeah.
And Shayna, people are behind because she's great in the ring.
Yeah.
But she's really a heel. How do you get a heel to get booed?
You
put them with another heel that people fucking hate, and you have them win all the belts. Like, how crazy would that be?
Yeah, that would be insane.
Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown's Women's Champion, but they're also tag champions together. And they go a couple pay-per-views. Where they defend the tag belt first, win it, and they both defend their belts.
Yeah. Clean. Not like
people would hate that shit, and it would be such great booking.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get people to hate heels.
Yeah.
It's like
that would be insane. It'd be insane. It would be insane. I would.
And that's
that is hard.
And that's how you get people to hate Shayna. And then that's when you could finally have the Shayna versus Becky match where Becky wins it back because you want Becky to have that big ass moment.
So
but she has to put Becky to sleep first.
This is what I expect to happen, because I said this on the Circle of the Big podcast. I kind of expanded more the storyline because like I said on the other podcast, we all want to see in the 4 versus 4 horsewomen match. That could happen, but that's
already.
That's crazy. Also the thing. It should have happened, but that's the type of match where like we could wait a little bit longer for it, because eventually it will happen. I don't think they're going to ignore that part. But my fantasy booking for Ronda Rousey returning is this: you have Ronda return at the Rumble, you have her win the Rumble, because Ronda and Sasha already had a match before in the past. It was I think it was the Rumble 2019 last year. Ronda beat Sasha already for it. She's already taken the loss to Ronda. So you have, instead of challenging for the SmackDown Championship, the Women's Championship, you have Ronda win the Rumble, and go for the Raw Women's Championship, where Charlotte eventually on the line beats Asuka for it, and then you have Charlotte enter Mania as champion, and you have Ronda walking out as Raw Women's Champion. You have then had that type of thing. Like we have a few filler matches in between. You have Bailey get drafted to Raw, and you have eventually a Bailey versus Ronda match where Ronda beats Bailey. And along the line, of course, I feel like Becky's gonna return in 2021 eventually. You have Becky return to SmackDown. Seth is already on SmackDown. You have Becky win the SmackDown Women's Championship, do her thing over there. Then you also have Becky get drafted to Raw the same night, but you kind of have Ronda and Becky ignore each other in the meantime until Rumble the following year in 2022, where that Rumble, you kind of built up the storyline between Becky and Ronda, so we could finally have that one-on-one match that we all been dying for that should already happen by now, where you kind of had like the Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. The second match they had kind of that heading towards that direction of that storyline where you have Ronda wanting to face Becky at WrestleMania that year because she wants to get revenge and pay back and beat Becky. So you kind of do stuff with her where she makes Becky forced to face her. Like you have Becky in the Rumble that year, 2022, maybe one of the last two people, and then obviously Ronda's champion, so she's kind of sitting on the sidelines watching. You kind of either help Becky win the Rumble, so she's forced to choose Ronda, or you have Becky lose the match where he's like, oh, I lost. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to challenge me or something? And you kind of like in between Mania and Rumble kind of have like Ronda tease Becky like, oh, face me. Do something about it. I cost you this match. I cost you that match. I cost you this match. Face me. Like teasing her about it. And that's how you get Ronda versus Becky at 38. I think that's next year's. Whatever the Mania that is.
Yeah, that sounds fucking great booking, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, I would have a shock ending to the Rumble.
But you have Ronda throw over the other person in the ring, or you have her throw over Becky so she loses it.
Nah, I have you bring up one of the other horsewomen. You build up one of the horsewomen. Okay. Her and Becky are the last ones. Everybody's going crazy. They get ready to lock up. And right when they step forward, the other one just boop hops out over the top rope. Becky wins. And now it's like, what? Like, give Becky the win.
So that way,
it's like, and now it's like, you gotta fight me. Like, I helped you win the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, I told her, give it up for you. I want this rematch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you had like
it'll be something different that we've never seen in a Rumble. That'll be like, this is how you're gonna end it. It'll get people tight, but it's all about the story.
Yeah, and then you have the Ronda bring up like, oh, I beat your other horsewoman already. I still beat you. I'm waiting for your turn. I could do it.
Yeah.
And then that's how you bring out the toughness in Becky. Everyone's behind Becky at that point, even though not a lot of people like her. I know you don't like her.
Wait, are we having Becky lose at this Mania, or are we having her win?
I would say have her win it because that
you are such a roll. You are such a roll.
Let me explain. Because that's the key story going with like, oh, we beat Ronda twice already. Then it builds up more to it, and it'd be like, now I still got to beat Becky for it. Then that adds to it. If Ronda wins, that would just be the end of it. Like, oh, you beat her already, and then it'll still be like the story will still go on, kind of like what we talked about before in the Ringside podcast we did a couple years ago. Whereas like it should be like The Rock versus Stone Cold, a couple year thing. Even though it didn't happen this year, it's still Shayna basically was still involved, so it kind of makes sense. That should happen. Yeah, so it'll keep the story going. If Ronda comes back, it'll be her turn to face one of Becky's horsewomen, something like that, or on those lines. But it still kind of ties in year after year after year.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be dope having Ronda win the Rumble.
Yeah.
They can do so much stuff. They just don't do it.
Yeah.
I think they think too much about it, and they think of it more as in what's gonna make us money.
Yeah.
More than, even though I think anything with Ronda is gonna make you money.
Definitely.
No problem. Either, like I said, it's like in MMA and boxing, people kept ordering the Mayweather fights. Why? Even though either you hated him or you loved him, you bought the fight. Why? Because one, you loved him and you wanted to see him win, or two, you were paying the money to see him get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's easy as that. So like either way they do it with her, either way you're making money. So come on, just do it.
Yeah. Cool, man. What are your expectations for NXT this year too? I forgot to mention.
NXT, keep doing the fucking thing and still killing it. I hope they just don't sign people just to sign people.
Yeah.
Like right now, I feel like when independents start rolling 100% again, people are gonna start looking at the indies, and people are gonna be out there trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna just try and sign people just to sign them. And I hope that's not the case. I hope if you do sign somebody, you got a plan for them. You're just not signing them for the name. And I would also like, because like signing somebody is like, cool, we're gonna do this with you in NXT. And right after NXT, they'll get called up. We've talked about this, and it's like, what's next?
Yeah, what's
Nothing.
next, man? Like, you don't have anything going on at the moment.
There's not been one. I'm trying to think of one call up that's been like amazing that we can't say one thing bad about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Either they shoving them down our throat like a Charlotte, Becky, Sasha kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or they're just not doing nothing with them, like a Riddle or a Gable. Oh my God, let's talk about that real quick. Gable and Jordan. Why bring them up? Why bring them up if you're not going to do nothing with them?
Exactly.
They were such... Go back and watch
the draft.
Takeover 32.
Yes.
Before Mania in Dallas. Takeover Dallas. When they beat the Revival. Dude. The pop they got. That was it. That was their moment. That was their moment, and they kept going, and you fucked it up. Just like when the Ascension came up, you just fucked it up. Like, don't call people up. Like, that's the thing. Don't call them up if you have nothing for them, and don't call them up just to put them in a redemption storyline, retribution and shit. Like, it's like make something happen. Make a plan.
Yeah, make a plan.
Don't just say, hey, this team got hype around it. Vince, you should bring them up. Cool. Who are they? Like,
I don't know. You figure it out. Like, I don't. What's like this?
Like, how did they come up and dominate? How did Ascension come up and dominate? You know what I mean? Like, it's just even Revival. Like,
yeah, really. There's a lot.
So many teams. Is like, you could have did much.
I mentioned Breezango before. They're the team right now. I feel like they should get called up and should be on that level. They should win the tag team championships. They should hold. They should put on good matches and stuff like that. And if they don't, then we're just wasting another team. I'm pretty sure if they do get called up this year, they're probably gonna get sent right back down to NXT in 2022. That's what I feel like is gonna happen. That was the reasoning for the first place. They had nothing for them. They went down. They killed it. They should be called up. They're the hottest thing right now in NXT, the hottest tag team. That should get called up next. And if they don't have anything for them, then don't call them up yet. Just wait until you figure something out.
And that's why people don't want to get called up, because they know
they're gonna get
what happens. They know it's going to be a domino effect. I think the most successful call-up they've had, because I don't even count the Shield as a call-up, because that wasn't like a real...
There wasn't a thing before that, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't like a real call-up. Maybe Paige.
Yes, I was going to say
successful.
Paige.
And so many people that should have been on fire that they just had no idea what to do with them, or
just give up.
How did Enzo?
I love them, man. I love them,
bro. When they debuted, the pop they got, that was also after Dallas. The pop they got at Raw.
Oh my God! And I remember when
NXT wasn't even at its peak yet,
and they got a huge pop. That was amazing, man.
Bro, like
now
it might have been in the middle of their peak. It might have been like
when they start of
their peak. But like Enzo and Cass.
Come on, that should have been better, man. They should have.
That's easy money right there.
Yeah, it's easy money. Exactly. They were the top selling merch at one point.
Yeah, and then you started putting them in stupid storylines. Then you broke them up. I get it. Cass is a big guy, but why you had to break him up? Just keep Enzo as the voice.
Exactly.
Cass couldn't fucking talk. Like, we love him, but my man couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Don't give him a mic. It's just that simple. It's just that's my number one thing. Don't fuck up call-ups. If you're gonna call somebody up, have a reason to call them up.
Exactly.
Don't just call them up to be like, this guy got hype.
Yeah.
Call him up. Oh, Adam Cole? Yeah, bring him up. No. Don't bring him up just because they got hype. Bring him up if you have a plan for them.
Yeah, I feel like now in NXT they have a lot of more serious characters in it. So it's like, oh, either I hate you, I'm a bad heel, or a badass heel, or it's like, oh, everyone just loves you because whatever.
Yo, like, you know who should really be called up, but they might be like, oh, it's too early for him. I think he's great though, Damian Priest.
Yeah, I was thinking him or Cameron Grimes.
Oh man,
Cameron Grimes could just be there and just do his thing, and it's awesome. Like, he doesn't have to be like in the championship picture. He still
Priest, you gotta put him in the title picture.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you want to elevate somebody and take the belt off of Lashley, oof, that's a storyline right there. And those two, that will put on a match.
Yeah.
Because even though they're both big guys, both athletic.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because like Damian Priest is a big guy, he's a tall guy, but he don't move around like Kevin Nash. My son be moving around like a small guy. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
like, you've seen the matches he's had with Gargano and anybody they put him in the ring with. He kills it.
Yeah. I was thinking, speaking of Gargano, I kind of want to see him and his group to be called up. Even though he doesn't want to, I feel like what he's doing right now should be called up. Because he's not doing anything anyways in NXT. Might as well bring him up.
But
like,
that's
he's
the
not
problem. Really... What are you going to do with him on the main roster?
Same thing he's doing now. Just being in a tag team. Go against tag teams. They're not using him as a singles competitor right now. Even though he's NXT North American champion, he's with Austin Theory. Candice LeRae is with Indy Hartwell. Put them all together. Keep them together. They don't have to split up.
And then you got a women's tag team too.
Yeah. It benefits them. It benefits everyone there. I feel like at this point, as great as he was, he's not like as serious as he was in terms of character-wise.
Yeah,
you know?
but
So
then
like,
it's tough because they're not thinking outside the box. Like, they're thinking of the typical WWE, like, this is what Vince wants.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think we blame the writers for a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's the writers for. I think they're just listening to what their boss wants. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't want to get fired, so boss, I know you like this, let me write this.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I understand.
But just, if you're going to have call-ups, do something with them. Like you said, Gargano and his crew make sense because you get a tag team on Raw and you get a women's tag team on the roster finally.
Exactly.
And it makes sense. Makes sense.
I guess that's all 4 major promotions. We can continue on this for hours, but
yeah, we really could.
Yeah,
we really could.
So I guess that wraps up at this new episode of the Ring Fanatics Podcast. Happy New Year's, everyone. I'm Nick, your host. With me as always, Joel, and we'll see you guys next time.
Catch ya.